wide concept. So please go and learn it and try to do something new, okay, which is going to really improve a lot. So please go and do it. And while talking about the today's session, we are going to step into the testing. So while talking about the testing, it is nothing but in the the full stack web development. Here we have the front end part and here we have a back end part. Sometimes you might want to check whether is there any problem with the front end. Sometimes you might want to check whether there is any problem with the back end. Sometimes you need to check whether there is any problem with the front end and back end connectivity. So that testing which we are going to do, because whenever you are building a huge bigger project, you need to know whether it is working well. If there is any problem, you can able to easily find out that, okay, there is a problem in the connectivity or the back end or the front end and etc. So to do that testing, the very most popular things which is we are going to explore is the Mocha and Jest. And I hope you guys are ready for this part of the session. So first of all, I hope you all remember while talking about the testing, which is going to make sure whether it is really working as we are expecting. Because you just simply see one function. You guys have created one function in the front end. For an example, instead of front end, let me call like I'm going to do one mathematical operation. I've just written as a one function in the code. So in that mathematical operation, I've did addition. Okay, like sum of two numbers. So if that is a sum of two numbers, that is what the equations, that is what the formulas, or that is what the code which I've written in the one certain code. Okay, so for an example, whenever people are running the code, if you really wanted to know whether it is working right or wrong, only then if you are giving an argument like 2 plus 3 which is equals to 5, that is what the condition. When the number which is passed into that function like 2, 3, which is 2 plus 3, which is 5, then which means that that function is working perfect. Whenever you are giving like 2 and 3 into it, it is giving an output like 6, then there is a problem with that sum function which you have written. So some condition you need to write to cross verify whether that code is really working as much like as expected or not. So that is what the testing part is all about. I hope you got a clear idea about the testing. So first of all, while talking about the testing, there are some types, especially in this full stack web development. That first part, which is a unit testing. What is meant by unit testing? Testing individual components. If you are talking about the front end or back end, it can be anything, guys. If you are talking about the front end, you just imagine the animation which we guys have did on our personal website creation, right? So whenever you are checking out that certain component, whether it is working good or not. Are you clear? So even if you are seeing the Netflix, in the Netflix, what are all the repeated components? The repeated components are nothing but, repeated components are nothing but something which is going to be used in a lot of places in the Netflix, especially in the Netflix. Whenever you are really crossing the home section where there is a category where it is going to show all the movies. So while talking about those movies, okay, let me show you. So just carefully watch. This is a Netflix, Netflix window. In here, this is one of the components, the square or thumbnail component. So which is going to pass, which is going to pass that video or trailer, and it is going to show you the play budget, ratings. So likewise, it is going to show you a lot of things. Like same as like, even though you are seeing a lot of movies, it might be a dark or it might be, any movies, Leo or anything. Whenever you are hovering there, so it is going to play the video and it is going to, what is it? It is going to play the trailer. And here we have 82% match, which is related to this Nowhere movie. And also, what is the rating of it or not, like the percentage. Genre of this movie and what is the duration of the movie. Likewise, it is going to show all the information about that certain movie. But if you are saying overall as a component, every component is actually everything is a single component. But for that component, first of all, we are passing Nowhere information, and then we are passing escape room information. Likewise, we used to pass different information into a single component. So whenever you really want to test a specific component, individual component or individual function, that can be done with the help of unit testing. I hope you guys have got a clear idea about the unit testing. Okay, so whenever you're going to test an individual component or individual functions, that can be done with the help of this unit testing. Whereas if you are talking about the integration testing, so testing that interaction, testing the interaction between the different components. For an example, even though it might be, inside the front end or front end the back end, so website creation, when the people are scrolling with the mouse, and when the people are reaching the skill section, that animation is going to be appeared. So based on that interaction, based on the scrolling, some animation has been there. So where there is gonna be an interaction between that certain component versus another component, or one event versus another component or something. So that is where whenever you really want to test the interaction between different components, that can be done with the help of integration testing. Are you clear? Whenever you're talking about the website development or web application or anything, unit testing is to be helpful for testing individual components. Integration testing, which is going to be helpful for testing the interaction between one versus the another components. That is what the thing. Okay. So look out that this type of testing focuses on verifying an interaction between the different components or modules of a system to ensure that they work together as expected. So that is what the two testing is. Just remember, unit testing is for individual component, and integration testing is for testing the interaction between the multiple components. So while talking about the tools for testing, there are a lot of things out there, but the most popular are this Jest, Mocha, Chai, and Supertest. And don't worry, in this today's session, we are going to work on all these things. Whenever you're talking about this Jest, JavaScript testing framework, it has been developed by Facebook again. The primarily used for testing React application, but can be used with other frameworks as well. Even though you are having, Angular or any other framework, you can use this JavaScript just a framework to test an application, but majority it might be used for the React testing and all. So that's what the Jest is. Whenever you are exploring the Mocha, a feature is JavaScript test framework. Again, it is also a test framework, but it is going to be running on Node.js. Guys, hope you understood. So mostly from this point of the time, what you can able to understand, Jest is for front end and Mocha is for the back end, because it is going to be helpful for testing the, the Node.js, making asynchronous testing simple and fun. So that's what the Mocha is. And here we have Chai. While talking about the Chai, first of all, you need to know the two things. One is BDD and TDD. BDD is behavior-driven development, and TDD is test-driven development. So assertion library for Node.js that can be paired with any testing framework. If you have a multiple different frameworks like Jest or anything, if there is a communication between the backend and then front end, so because this is for the Node.js, that can be easily done. So it like testing, it can be done in a different way. Like is it based on the behavior of that application, or is it been based on the certain test which you are writing a condition? Like previously I've told if that 2, 3, if the answer is 5, then that is good. So it is all condition based, the test driven development. So that kind of application you'll be using Chai. And Supertest is also there, the library used for testing HTTP servers built on top of a super agent. So it is going to give you overall information. Even if you are giving a login credentials and all, you can give that as a super test. For an example, whether that test, it can able to identify whether the people are invalid user or people are giving wrong credentials. So that is all can be done with the help of the another test called Supertest. Don't worry, today we are going to do everything in a hands-on. Are you ready? So right now, while talking about the demo and testing, I have categorized actually a lot of source code today. I really want you guys to go and practice and learn it. But while talking about the number of source code which you are going to work on, the first one, just for front end testing. I hope you already know. So what is that? Just is for, so primarily used for testing out the application, especially in the front end. So just is for the front end testing. I have the separate source code for it. And second program is for Mocha for the backend testing. So that's what the Mocha is for. And third one, we are going to write an integrating test, because these tools are unit test. I hope you all remember unit test. Unit test is going to be helpful for testing the individual component or function. That's what the Jest and Mocha. Whereas integration test is going to be helpful for testing the integration between, interaction between one component versus another. So that is what the third part, integration test. And fourth part, which is about the mini project, we are going to write a test for your application, and also we are going to create this application with the help of the React.js. I hope you are really thinking it's amazing. So without wasting time, let us begin the session. So before starting up, I would like to tell you something. These mind maps are the blueprint for you. Okay. Whatever the procedure which I'm doing, I've added most of the time, I've added the general procedure, but in some of the mind map, I haven't added the source code, but in most of the mind map, I've added the source code, but don't depend on the source code which I've given in this mind map, dependent on your source code which I've given as a zip file, as a separate source code file and folder. But other than that, the steps and procedures which I've clearly explained you in a step by step. Even this is really taking me more time to prepare this for you, because whenever people are start preparing for the exams or interviews or etc., they really don't want to go through the video again. So because you have already watched the video and you are already going to complete these courses, so people should not get struggle to watch the video. Where the topic is? Is it in a 50th minute or is it the 30th minute kind of thing? You should not get confused. That's why I'm taking more and more time to prepare this blueprint, mind map for you. So please make use of it. If you are really thinking it's super valuable, you just give your comments in the live chat. So first of all, just for front-end testing. While talking about the just for front-end testing, here we are going to work on, we are going to create a directory and we are going to install jest and all. The first thing, we are going to set up the just for front-end testing. To set up the just for front-end testing, please open any new directory and please install these libraries. I hope you already know this, how to install it and etc. But for you guys, I can show us like a demo a little bit. Okay, I don't want to do everything in a step by step because I've already given everything detail in this, material. So what you can do, you can just go here and create a new folder. So I'm going to create a new folder like demo. So once you have got that folder, just copy the directory. Either you can open it in the Visual Studio Code and you can do this task. Even if you want me to do, I can just do it. So just open the directory. Once I have opened, what is the library we guys have installed? We guys have installed, I think 3 libraries. We guys have installed Jest and Babel Jest and Babel/present-nv. So these are the things we need to install. So what you can do is you just open your terminal and go to, your Visual Studio Code and open your terminal. So once you have opened your terminal, you can start installing those libraries. Okay, so this is what we got. Okay, right now npm is nothing but the node package manager space install space. We guys have installing those libraries like Jest and Babel-Jest and Babel/preset-nv. So whenever you are clicking enter, so those library which is going to be installed in your directory. Okay, so that is the first step. And while talking about the Jest, I hope you already know the Jest is nothing but a JavaScript testing framework which is going to be helping you to write and run the test. Whereas if you are talking about the Babel Jest, the Jest transformer that will let you to use the Babel to transpile your code. Transpile your code is like converting one format to another format. So this is necessary if your code uses a modern JavaScript feature. I hope you all really remember what is the modern JavaScript is. Okay, we guys have already saw that ECMAScript and all, right? So whenever you are writing the code, like even in a React.js or anything, especially in the React or something. So whenever you are writing the code, or especially in the JavaScript, if you are using the modern JavaScript, this is gonna be really needed. This Babel Jest is gonna be needed because that is not going to be supported in the Node.js sometimes. So that's why this Babel Jest, which is going to be important, and Babel/present-nv. So this is a smart preset for the Babel that allows you to use the latest JavaScript feature. So because we have already discussed this Babel Jest is needed to be used, but additionally we need that preset which is going to have all that latest, which is going to be helping you to use all the latest feature of the JavaScript, and it automatically determines the Babel plugins and the polyfins you need based on your target environments. So based on the environment, so it is going to be really helpful to use advanced and latest JavaScript features, this Babel/present-nv. So that's what we are going to install it. Okay, we guys have completed installation, guys. You just go and enter it and you can complete your installation. Once you have completed your installation, what you need to do is you need to create a Babel a C file. Okay, in your root directory, just please copy, or else first of all, you just copy the file name, which is .babelrc. So I'm just going to copy it. You can come into this directory and you can click a new file. and you can give the name like dot babel rc. So likewise, you just create a file. And for that, we are going to create set and environmental variables to use the presets which we guys have installed. Because there are some of the presets available. But right here, we guys have installed the presets, which is babel/present-nv. So that's we guys have installed here. That's what we are really importing into the presets environmental variables in this Babel RC. That's also we guys have did. And then now it's time to configure the jest. To configure the jest, guys, very, very important. Whenever you are writing the code, like the JavaScript or React or anything, you are going to execute the code by using the command like node space server.js, node space index.js, node space app.js and all, right? But whenever you are testing it, you can able to test that application by using the command like npm space test. Whenever you are using node package manager /test, space test, that need to be configured properly in this variables, especially in your package.json, that need to be configured properly. Okay, wait a minute. So, so that need to be configured properly. So to configure that properly, just see here, this is what the package.json, which is available. It has been generated based on the libraries we guys have already installed. We guys have installed the jest and babel jest and babel/preset-nv. These are all the things which is got installed. So development dependencies. But whenever you are really seeing the additional thing, like if you want to test that, you need to add inside the script. Guys, whenever you are adding something into the package.json, just remember, if you are simply pasting that, it won't work. It will show you an error. So you can see expected comma JSON. Okay, so comma is the space. Comma is the delimiter. Comma is the thing which has been asked to given. So comma you should give here. So whenever some other code or some other script going to be appeared after this, please give that comma properly. Otherwise, it will be giving you an error. So never ever forget. Even though I'm sorry, I haven't mentioned in that mind map, but even though I haven't mentioned it, but whenever you are adding any script into your this package.json, because it is in the format of JSON, so that's why what you do is you just put up a comma and after that add the script. Okay, hope you are clear with this. So that's what we guys have added. Okay, Babel scripts. And after that, right now, we are going to write a unit test. So guys, what is meant by test? As I've already told you, if you have created one function, that function is going to perform one thing like a plus b is equals to output. And whenever you are passing 2, 3, so it is going to give you an output 5, right? So first of all, we are going to create two things. One is the function and another one is the test for that function. Because right now we are in the unit test. Unit test is to be helpful for testing the individual components and our individual functions. So what we can do is you can create some simple function. Okay, sum.js. Okay, what you guys do is you just come into your directory and create one new file. I'm going to name like sum.js. So new sum.js, which it got appeared. So for this sum.js, so what we are going to do is we are going to bring this code into it. So what is the code is function sum of a comma b and open braces and close braces and return a plus b. What is mean by return a plus b? Which is if you are passing 2, 3, the answer is going to be 5. If you are passing 3, 3, so 3 is going to be a is going to be 3 and b is also going to be 3 and 3 plus 3, which is going to be 6, it is going to return you the 6. And whenever you are going to call that function from the other code, from the other code, if you want to access the sum.js, that needed to be exported properly in the name of sum. So whenever you need this code, you can access it with the help of sum because we guys have exported it properly. So this is what the sum.js, a function, or you can call this as a function or a component, but we guys have created it. Okay, right now it is a function, but even though it is a function or even though it is a component, this is going to be the procedure. So here we guys have created one component or function, but here it is a function. So now we need to test it. To test it, whenever you are testing your file, please give the name as test.js or something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another new file, sum.test.js. You can see whenever I'm testing, whenever I'm creating a file with a test name, okay, test in the name, you can see the logo which has got changed. Okay, the icon which it got changed, which is like test tube symbol with a JS icon. So it is the test file which we are going to create. In the test file, what we are going to do is we are going to test this sum function which we have already created. So this sum function which is going to perform a plus b. So what we guys have did is to access this function, we have this name called sum, right? Because we have exported it. So from the test.js program, constant sum is equals to, by using a require function, require syntax, require of dot/sum, because sum is just present in my current directory. So that's why dot/sum, which is going to access that sum.js file, and test of adds 1 plus 2 equal 3. Is it amazing, guys? So here we guys have written the statement. We are giving the name for the test. What the test we are going to make. That test, which is going to be is nothing but expect. So which is going to be passing those arguments into it. Sum of 1, 2. So 1, 2 to be 3. To be 3 is nothing but the return value. So return is, it should be a 3. And when that input is going to be 2, 3. So that's what, 1, 2. So sum of 1, 2 dot to be of 3. So whenever you are just close braces and that's it. So this is how you can able to create the test file for this function or component or the front end or back end. Guys, is it super amazing? Is it going good? So if it is going good, you just post GG in your live chat. So this is very, very simple. So now we guys have created a function or a component. And for that function or component, we have also created the test as well. So to test your program, you can use the command like npm/test. So here in this program, I'm going to run like npm space test. Whenever I'm hitting enter, so what it is going to do is this test code which is going to be executed. Look out that test and digest. Okay, it is going to access it, and it is going to run that test.js. Ta-da! So pass. Okay, test suits 1 passed, 1 total. Guys, is it amazing? Do you really love it? Even for an example, let me do a different activity. Okay, let me multiply like a multiples of b. Okay, so 1, 2. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to test it again. So npm space test. Wow, look at that. So 1 failed. Okay, what does it mean? So this is what the answer. So expected answer is 3, but received answer is 2. So it will find out the problem. So to be 3 here, there is a problem. The test is not working good. So the function is not working properly. So it will give you a failed, test results. Okay, in the test results, it got a message like failed. So that is because of the sum is not actually the test condition is just not passing into that function. So that's why it is giving that result. Is it amazing, guys? So right now, to show you in a very simple way, that's why I've created a very simple function and I'm showing you in this way. But whenever you're going for the bigger project, definitely it is very, very difficult to understand what's the problem and etc. So that's why you can write all the test conditions, and it will be telling you pass 1, pass 2, pass 3, pass 4, pass 5, 6, 7, 8. So likewise, you'll be getting a final report that your function or your code is really working well. So it will be amazing whenever you're creating a very bigger level of project, guys. That's what this sum.test.js is all about. I hope you have got a clear idea about it. So right now, we guys have did that testing for jest, okay, for this kind of application. Whereas if right now we are jumping into the Mocha, okay. So for Mocha also I'll be doing as a hands-on. So then you'll be understanding it clearly. So while talking about the first step, the Mocha, you need to install this library. So first of all, let us go to the procedures. Okay. Let me delete it. I'm going to access the same directory. So right now, I'm going to access this directory from my Visual Studio Code. Okay. So I just deleted it just to demo, guys, because don't worry, you'll be having your source code. Don't worry. So here I have this directory which we have created. So in here, we are going to install these libraries. So while talking about libraries installation, so go into the demo and give the command. So npm space install mocha, chai, and cinnamon. So this is what we have given. So first of all, while talking about the mocha, JavaScript test framework running on the Node.js and in the browser, making asynchronous testing simple. As we guys already discussed, just is for front end, and the mocha is for the backend. And the chai, whenever you are using a chai, it is a behavior driven development, so BDD, or test driven development TDD assertion library for Node.js and the browser that can be delightfully paired with any JavaScript testing framework. Because even though you have other testing frameworks, with the help of the chai, you can able to easily pair it with together. So if you have a front end which has been done with the help of any other frameworks like Jest, so this with the help of the chai, you can able to easily pair it with that. That's what the chai is. And here we have the Cinnamon, a library for creating spice tabs and mocks, providing standalone test spice. So I'll show you that, okay, like what is that mock, how we are creating it, that I'll be showing you in the program. So Cinnamon, and then npm install ESM. So ESM is nothing but ES module. I hope you have already seen that, but previously in our testing program with the help of the Jest, we guys have used the require. Hope you all remember, even in writing the test program, in the test program, we used to have the require of .sum, but sometimes it won't be supported and with the help of the Node.js. So that's why we are using this as a ES modules. Instead of using require, here we are going to use import. Okay, so guys, I hope you have got it. So before we have used the require of .sum, here we are going to use the imports and exports. So that's what we are going to do. And also here, the code which we are going to create in the extension called .mjs. The MJS is nothing but module JavaScript. It is being used explicitly indicate that file is a JavaScript module using ES module. So ES module we are going to use with the help of that import or export syntax. So that is import and export. So that's what. So whenever you're writing the program, instead of using a require kind of function to access the another main function you have created, we are going to access it with the help of the import function. That's what we are going to do. So whenever you are talking about configuring the mocha, so already it created, the package.json. This is what the package.json. So in this package.json, the first thing you need to do is you need to add the scripts. Okay. So here, what I already told you, put up a comma and hit enter and paste the scripts, scripts dictionary format data. So here you might ask, Sanjay, in the environmental variables, why we are using a test? Because whenever you are testing the program, you used to have npm space test. So whenever you are using node package manager space test, it will access this package.json. In this package.json, when there is a test, which is going to execute this. In this execution, we have previously, whenever we are initializing the Jest, we haven't given this type of thing. We have simply given Jest and those things. But here we have defined the mocha. Additionally, we have added the ESM test, test.mjs and all, because we really want to tell that ESM module is got like preloaded. We are going to tell that. So because it is going to be helpful for mocha to understand ES module syntaxes, like as I've already told you while talking about the ES module syntaxes, instead of using a require, which we guys have used in the Jest, here we are going to use Here we are going to use this this ES module includes, include and export those things. So right now we are going to write a unit test with a mocha and chai. So to do that, as I've already told you, we are not going to simply create the JS. We are going to use that MJS, which is module JavaScript. For that, we are going to create one function, math.mjs. So that's what we are going to create right now. So go into your directory and create a file, math.mjs. Okay. So we guys have used that math.mjs, and here we are going to have this code, which is export function, multiply of a comma b, return a multiples of b. As I've already told you, it is not a normal traditional thing. It is going to use this ES module script. So that's why we are using a export function, export space function, the multiply function, a comma b, return a multiples of b. So we are going to just do a multiplication of two variables, a comma b. So that's what the export function we guys have created. And for this function, we are going to write the test code. To write a test code, what I'm going to do is, since I'm going to put it inside the directory called, the folder called test folder. Okay. So right now I'm here. I'm going to create a new folder. So for that folder, I'm going to create a folder like name like test. And inside the test, I'm going to create one file called math.test.mjs. So likewise, I have created one new file for it. And right now, whenever you are really seeing this program, I hope right now you understood this. What is the thing is, previously the code used to have, the require functions. But right now we are not using require. Instead, we are using import and export. Why? It because of we are going to use this ES module in this Node.js. Okay, so that's why import of expect from chai and import of multiply from math.mjs. So here we have MJS. MJS is the function which we have created as a multiply. So that's why import multiply from .math.mjs. So first of all, we guys have access two things. One is chai and another one is a math.mjs. After that, we are going to use the describe to pass an argument or pass a data into the function which we guys have created in the math.mjs. So describe is also one of the new syntax which you need to learn. So yet the test condition we are right should multiply two numbers. So whenever you are multiplying the two numbers, expect multiply of 2, 3 dot 2 equal of 2 dot equal of 6. Whenever 2 and 3 which is got passed, the output should be as 6. So that is what this ES modules, guys. Okay. So guys, is it clear? Right now when we have got this, right now it's time to test the program. So npm space test the program. So I'm going to type npm space test. And whenever I'm hitting enter, so instead of using a just like previously, right now it is going to use the this one. Okay. So whenever you are seeing this, okay, so it's having something like this. Okay. Okay. So right now, what is the error we have got? Cannot find the module ESM because it is going to use the ESM scripts, but it can't able to find out those function or library. So we guys have forgot to install that ESM. So please copy that npm space install space ESM and install it. Once you have installed it, right now, if you are testing that application, it is going to give you a great output. So I'm going to execute the command like npm space test. Whenever you're hitting enter, instead of using, just, it is going to use a mocha. And look how that should multiply two number. This condition got passed. So it put up one tick and one passing. Within a 21 millisecond, the test has been completed. Guys, is it super clear? Okay. If it is super clear, you just post super clear Sanjay in your live chat. Here in this time, I wanted to show you both the things. Okay, let me open it in the notepad, whether it will open. Okay, actually, this is, I really want to show you both the test comparison. One is just for front-end designing comparison. And another one is for math.test.mjs for comparison. So I'm going to show you both. Okay. Just carefully watch what is the difference between this versus this. Here, we guys have used the require function. Why? Because it is not the ES module based. Okay. So that is what we guys have did by using a require function. But here we are not using a require function. Instead, we are using an import kind of keywords because it is, this ES module kind of function, import or export syntax in the Node.js. So that's why, because it is a backend. So in the backend, we are using import. And then in the left, if you are writing a test, you can able to use the keyword like test of the condition and the name for your test. And what is the condition? Expect of sum of 1, 2 dot to be of 3. But whenever you are using a mocha, so same expect of multiply 2, 3 dot 2 dot equal of 6. Guys, whenever you are really comparing and learning, you will get a very clear idea about these things, guys. Please go and do that. So up to this point of the time, we guys have completed two tests. Both the two tests are a unit test. Unit test for the front end using just, and unit test for the back end using mocha. So these are all the 2 things we have completed. So just for front-end testing and Mocha for back-end testing. I hope you all super satisfied up to this. Right now, we are stepping into the second type of test, because both the things are a unit test. We are testing a certain function or certain component with the help of just our Mocha is a unit test in my the front end and back end. But right now we are stepping into the integration test. What is meant by integration test? This integration test, which is going to test the interaction between one component versus another, or one part of your application versus another. Here we have 2 parts. One is front end part, another one is the back end part. So that's what we guys have done. First of all, we are going to set an environment. So initialize your React project. I hope you already know how to create a React project and all. Even again, if you want me to show you the demo, I can show you that. Okay. So likewise, just create one new directory. Once you have created a new directory, first thing you need to do is create a new React application. So I hope you already remember how to create a new React application. We have already learned on the previous days. So I'm going to use this command, npx space create -react -app space. The name for your application is my app. So my app is the name for my React application which we are creating. So inside the my app, it is going to bring all the dependencies, all the required packages which it really wanted. And once it got that, now it's time to install some of the libraries. On talking about that library, here we are going to use testing library React, even though the just which is going to come up with pre-configured with a create React app, because here we are creating a React application using a create method, because in the React session, React.js session, we have already explored how to create an application. So either we can able to create it with the help of the create-react-app and another way. But right now we are going to use the create React app. So even though that create React app, which is going to come up with the just as a pre-configured, but right now it might really need some additional packages. That is what that npm install, that is what the testing -library/react. These are all some additional packages, even though React app is going to come up with the just pre-configured. But we need some of the additional library. So that's why we are going to install the testing -library/react. So to do that, first of all, you need to make sure whether the installation has been completed. Okay, still it is installing. It is creating the directory for the React. So once it's created, we need to go into the directory. Never ever forget, because a lot of people used to do the mistake. Even the people on the React.js previous session, a lot of people have did the mistake. So what you guys do is, whenever you are installing the library, make sure you have gone into the React application and install the libraries. Okay, it is installing all the required packages. Yes, node modules just came in. Okay, so yes. So here is the place. First thing, you need to go into the application which we have created. The application name is my-app. Even in the left side directory, you can see my-app folder which it got created. So now we are going to that directory, and then we're going to install the required package, which is especially the testing library with the React. Yes, installed. Okay, almost. Okay, so I hope you guys have got a clear idea about the unit testing and integration testing. While talking about unit, which is going to be for specific component. So here we are going to check out the in between one versus another. So that's what this part is all about. So on this part, first of all, we are working on the, working on the front end, and then we are going to move on to the back end. So in the front end, first of all, we need to install this library. So to install the library, first you need to be in the certain directory. Okay, so it got complete this installation, and right now my app folder has also been ready. So now what you should do, you should go into the directory, cd space, press tab button. So whenever you are clicking a tab button, it will automatically give you the suggestion which directory you need to go in. So now right now I am inside that my app. So once you are inside the my app, now it's time to install the additional packages for the testing with the React. So I'm going to install the npm space install at testing-library/react. So whenever you are hitting enter for it, so it will install all the required packages. And right now it's time to create some components for the project. since it is the complete some of the project which we are going to work on, I'm going to make it very simple. So that's why we are going to create one and only component. The component is button.js. So to show the button.js, so what you can do is you need to create that button.js inside the source directory. So what you do is you click that source directory src and click a new file and just give the name. Okay. So what is the name? button.js. So that's what we are going to do. Okay. And also whenever you are copy pasting mine, just be careful on the cases and etc. So here we have button.js. So in that button.js, we are going to import the react.js and we are going to create one component. That component we guys have initialized with the constant of button is equals to on click comma children. So button on click of greater than children. So here we are creating one component. Okay, so like one button. Okay, button is the one and only component which we guys have created with the help of the React.js. Okay, we guys have created with the help of that. And after that, we are going to write a test file for it. To write the test file, first of all, you need to create another file name like button.test.js. So what you do is come into the directory, same inside the source, create one test program button.test.js. In that button.test.js, of course, what are all the things it need to be imported? The first thing it need to import the React. Okay. And then it is going to import the testing-library/React. Inside that, we are going to get the render and fire event, because whenever people are clicking that button, that is going to be recorded as an event. That's what fire event. And here we have the render. Okay, so here we have a file name. Okay, what's the file name? Which is button.js. It is actually button.js. Okay, so button.js, and right now we are going to create a test for it. So what is mean by test is calls on click when clicked. Whenever people are clicking that the button, so on click, so constant handle click is equals to just.function. So what we are going to do is we guys have created another mock for it, the just.function. So it's just like a handle click. Whenever people are clicking that certain button, that event is gonna be like that. The trigger. And get by text render of button on click handle click is click me. So it is going to have that information like click me or some kind of information. So that is what the click me is. And fire event dot click off get by text of click me. So that is what it is going to be fetched based on the data like click me. And expect handle click dot have to be called how many times that function need to be called. That thing need to be called only one time, because whenever you are clicking the button for the first time, so it is going to be triggered only once. So that is what this to be called for one time. Okay, that is what this part is all about. Okay, wait a minute. Let me open this part of the code again. Okay, so here we have button.test.js and button.js. Okay, whenever you are getting that type of error, guys, sometimes it might be based on the cache or something. So you can close your Visual Studio Code, and if you are opening it, that error which is going to be resolved. Okay, so you don't want to worry about it. So right now we guys have created this front end part. The front end part with the help of we guys have created one function.js, which is like button.js, which is gonna be having one button like on click. The click me button. So that's what the one and only component which we have created. For that button, we have also created another test function for it. Okay, so that's what the front end part. In the front end part, whenever if you really want to test that part, so you can again use the command like npm space test. So to do that, open your command prompt as a terminal, or you can open it in the Visual Studio Code as well. Okay, so whenever you have got that, you can run this command like npm space test. So because of React is already having those kind of packages, so it is going to be testing. So running the button.test.js and app.test.js, it is going to give you the final results. Let us wait and see. When you are seeing the final project, you will understand, guys. Just carefully watch. Just see here. So 2 passed and 2 passed, 2 total. Okay, test is suits and also test. So both the things which it got completed properly. The 2 passed statement which it got. Okay, so that's what is for the front end. Same as like, if you want to do it for the backend, you can create another one folder if you really want it. So we need to initialize the Node.js project because, like it might be for backend or it might be for Node.js application, which you are really adding it inside here. So that's up to you. But what you can do is you can initialize your Node.js project by using this command like cd space express. And also you can use this type of Linux command, guys. mkdir is nothing but make directory. So what you can do is you can just be on the terminal. I'm going to press Ctrl C. And what you can do is we are in the My App. And because we are in the My App, what we can do is we can use the command make dir, mkdir. So mkdir is nothing but make directory. So whenever you are hitting enter, automatically it will create another folder for you. Okay, so if you wanted, you can just do it. So My Express app. So likewise, if you really want to create another, another directory from the terminal itself, you can use the command like mkdir. So which is like make directory. And then if you want to initialize the node package managers, like for the Node.js, here we are initializing npm space init space -y. So whenever you are doing that, it will initialize all the required packages for the Node.js. And once it has been done, whatever the library which has been needed. So here we need the Mocha, Chai, Supertest, and Supertest. These are the things which has been needed. So I'm going into my oh my god, I think we guys have installed known packages inside this My App directly. I think so. Yes, I did it. Okay, what I can do is I can come out of it first, and then I can execute the command npm space init space -y. So whenever you are executing it, okay, it is going to bring all that required. Okay, again I did the same. Okay, we are in the demo cd space My App cd space My Express app. So I'm going to the My Express app, and here we are going to initialize the npm packages for the Node.js. Even you can create as like two individual folders. Okay, one is for the front end, another one is for back end. So likewise, I can also do. And inside that, we are going to install the required packages like Mocha, Express, Chai, Supertest. And after that, we are going to install ESM. Of course, we are going to create the file based on the ESM. So that's what we guys have created already. Okay, directly I'll show you. So integration test. In this integration test, I've created two folders. One is for the backend, another one is for the front end. As I've already told you, same thing. You can also create the two directory and keep all the repositories into it, respectively. So on that aspects, so you need to install the npm space install space ESM and also create an Express application. So whenever you're creating an Express application, again, we are going to use the MJS format. So app.mjs, here we are going to create that MJS. First of all, let me show you in the backend, app.mjs, import express from Express, and the constant app is equals to Express, and app.get hello. So whenever it is getting that method like hello keyword method, it is going to respond back in the message called hello world. That's what it is going to do. So whenever the hitting a button, so that event is got triggered, that's what we are going to do. Even if you really want to test that application, definitely we need that testing conditions and testing code for it. So what I'm going to do is, so here already we have app.test.mjs. So if you are seeing that, we guys have imported the Supertouch and Chai and app.mjs, which we guys have already created right here. So that has also been brought here. And inside the describe, so get space /hello. So whenever you are using the get method to hello, it should return the hello world. Okay, whenever people are clicking get, the button, hitting the button, it is going to return the output like hello world. So by using the method like get method, okay, because if you are seeing this app.mjs, here in the app.get, whenever that, that value, which is like /hello, that's going to return the hello world. At the same time, here in the get off, whenever it is getting passed like /hello, it should return the hello world. That's what the name. But in the name, we need to give the respective request for that application, right? In that application, first of all, it is passing the get as hello method and dot end of error. So if there is any thing like if it is a respective text, it is going to print that it is needed to be printed like hello world. Okay, otherwise it will be giving you an error. Okay, that's what this application is. Okay, so hope you are clearing about an idea. And also, while talking about the mocha, of course, whenever you are writing the program, you need to define the respective packages. Like if there is a mocha there, so you need to define what is that in the package.json. So in the package.json, we guys have created the scripts, and carefully watch. We have put up the comma here and test : mocha -r and esm app.test.mjs. That's what it is going to be included in the packages. And right now, if you want to test the application, npm space test. That's it. Go here, open it in the terminal. npm says test. So it will used to do the simulation by itself. Okay, it got an error. Okay, it got an error. Okay, 3 integration. Okay, so we are in the wrong directory with React and cd space backend. We need to go into the backend. And now whenever you are executing npm space test, okay, again, it is getting an error. Okay, complete log. Okay, is there. Okay, are we in the right directory through 3index.json / package.json? Here we have this. Okay, what we can try to do is, if the test is the one and only problem, we can do it. Okay, no such file directories, introduction. Okay, backend / package.json, which is not there. Okay, so what is the thing is, even though we are in the backend, inside that there is another folder called My Express app. So first of all, we need to go into the My Express app. So cd space My Express app. And let me execute the command again, npm space test. Yes, it started. Guys, this is how always whenever you are getting error, don't get scared and don't directly go to Google. Okay, always people used to do this. When people are getting an error, directly they'll be jumping onto the Google. Don't do the Google. Please go and read the error. Okay, here, how I have found out the error is, it given an error. Okay, don't expect like error will be in a single line. Definitely it will be multiple lines. But in a multiple line, in a certain place, you might find out like no such file directories. So because this npm, it will be working only when that package.json lies in the certain directory. But here it is showing like package.json, which is not inside the backend. So after that only, I found out that inside the backend, we guys have created another folder called My Express app or something. So, and then I just go into that, and it is, when I am executing that npm space test, it did a simulation. It did simulation by itself, because you don't want to do that same thing again, because that's why we are writing the test program and all. Even if you are going and testing manually by yourself, then there is no use of this testing program. So testing program, very important benefit is, you need to do everything by itself. Simply we have written that condition here. Whenever it is using the get method of /hello, it need to return the hello world. That's what the thing. So what it will do is, this will automatically go and do the simulation to click the button which is been created. That is going to return it. Okay, return whether is it a hello world or not. So that's what in the backend we guys have did. Okay, so I hope you are clear. So what is the thing is, here there is a something like get method, the button or something. So we are going to access the button. So if you are seeing app.mjs, so app.get of hello, whenever you are using the get method of hello, it need to print the hello world. So here the communication between this and that is being done, and it is going to simulate by itself. And after the simulation, if it is returning the hello world, then it is going to put the message. Otherwise, it won't give that results. Okay, so I hope you are clear with this. But right now it is all okay. Okay, we guys have did the integration test as well. But right now, let us do a mini project. Okay, if you are seeing this mini project, you will understand it clearly. Okay, on that aspects, I've given you the line by line explanation in this directory. So just carefully watch. In this mini.js, let me open it in the Visual Studio Code. So yeah, so while talking about this, first of all, set your environment. While setting up an environment, so initializing a Node.js project. To initialize the Node.js project, I've created one make directory. I've created one directory. CD space, we guys have gone into that mini project. And inside the mini project, we guys have initialized the Node.js packages like npm space init space -y. So we guys have initialized it. Automatically, it will bring up that package.json and etc. And what are all the libraries it has been needed? First of all, we need a lot of libraries. Like first of all, you need Express and Body Parser for pass all the information into it. So that's what the Express and Body Parser, which has also been installed. And also, we guys have brought the Mocha, Chai, and Supertest for testing this application. So that has also been imported. After it got imported, so set up script in package.json. So what we need to do is, whenever you are really setting up this environment and all, in the package.json, carefully watch, there are two modifications we guys have done. One modification is you need to set the type as module. Even in the code, here we guys have defined that type as a module, because by defining that as a module, you are really telling that it is using the ES modules. So that's why we are defining the type as module. This way also you can able to do, because there what we guys have did is we guys have initialized the code with .mjs, right? I hope you all remember that .mjs. But here, instead of doing that in the normal way, whenever the files are in the format of like .js, here in the type we guys have defined like a module, and the script which is going to be test::mocha. So whenever you are initializing the files like .mjs and etc., you don't want to define like this. And also in the test, you need to pass as an argument that is based on that MJS and all. You need to pass as an argument, because we have already did that previously. Okay, I hope you all really remember that, right? Look how that ESM package test/.test.mjs. So likewise and all you need to define. But here we guys have defined the type as that module, and then open the package and also add that script as well. So script of test::mocha, that's also been added, and create a user model. So what is the thing is, I haven't created the complete tool to do a testing, but it is gonna be somewhat good, because these are all the projects which you guys have already worked on. So whenever you're talking about the user.js, what is meant by user.js? User.js is gonna be helpful for getting the certain user information, like users email name and users email ID. We guys have created as a constructor with an object like this.name is equals to name, and this.email is equals to email. We have collected the name of the person and we have collected the email of the person. And here we are going to do some testing. Is valid email? So it is going to return what are all the errors, or is there anything? .test this email. So I'll show you an output, then you'll understand. So here, first of all, we have created the user.js. And then we guys have created an Express application, because it is going to use any method. Using any methods like post method or get method, that thing. So whenever, So whenever you are seeing app.js, first of all, we have imported Express, Body Parser, and user.js from this file. We are accessing the file and initializing the app, and app.use bodyparser.json, because it is going to pass all the data as a JSON, and app.post of register. Whenever people are putting a register, it should get the name and then email ID from the body. These are the things you have already did. I hope you all remember. How many of you will really remember this? If you really remember this, you just post remember in your live chat. Because before even creating an end-to-end application, we guys have did these activities with when we have learned the postman and all, we have did the same. So here we are going to get the name and then email ID. So here we are going to fetch username and email ID. And if the user is having the valid email ID, it is gonna be if the user's email ID is an invalid email ID, it is going to return the results that invalid email. If it is getting that, then it is going to print a message like user registered. That's what the app we guys have created just by using only one method called register method. And right now create index.js. Whenever you are talking about index.js, which is gonna be doing a initial requirement for starting up the servers and all. So import app.js and constant port is equals to process .nv.port of 3000 port number, and app.listen, it is going to helpful for beginning up the server. So right now we are going to write a 2 test for it. Number 1 test is unit test for user.test. So inside the test folder, we guys have written one code for user.test.js. So guys, what all the user.test what all the things you might require to write? Do you really know? It's very simple. Just carefully watch. Here, we guys have imported the chai function and user.js. Both the things it got imported. And describe of user, it. Okay. So we are writing the test cases. In the test cases, first of all, should validate the email. So constant user is equal to new user, John Doe or johnexample.com. Expect user dot is valid email dot to be true. So what we are defining it, whether the email ID is proper or not. So because john@example.com, this is what the proper email ID. So whether it is true or not. So to be true. If it is false, then it is going to get an error like johnexample.com. There is no @ symbol. So whenever there is no that symbol, so it is going to be false. That's what invalid email. And here it is a valid email. So we are going to expect user is valid to be true or to be false when the email ID is proper or not. When I show in the demo, I'll show you. So this is what the unit test we guys have did for specifically checking out that user component. And second thing, write a registration test for write the integration test for registering root. While talking about the registering root, in the root of your project, create a file named app.test.js and add the following code. So what the code we have is, it's also going to be very simple, guys. Let me show you. So here we guys have created the app.test program. So in the app.test program, here there is going to be a communication between one versus another. First of all, we have imported supertest and chai and app.js. Just carefully watch. Here comparing the post method. Okay, we are going to compare some other methods. So first of all, we are going to completely focus on only one method, like a post method on register keyword. So post of /register, it should register a user with a valid email. So it is going to post the method like /register, name is John Doe and email is john@example.com. Expect 201. So expecting it is to be successful. If it has been done, it is going to print user register. Otherwise, it is going to print invalid email. So this is on the user side, and this is on the this is on the app side. Okay, first of all, let me show you an output. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run it in the terminal. Actually, we need a 2 terminal for this project. Okay, so this is the first terminal. In this first terminal, I'm going to run node space index.js. So I'm going to run this. So here it got an output like server running on the port 3000. So here what I'm going to do is I'm going to type local host 3000. So whenever you are posting local host 3000, it won't work. So it will be printing you like cannot get, because I haven't used any get method and those things. We guys have used only the post method. Okay, up to this point of the time, we guys have created this application, and also we're going to run the test, don't worry. But before that, let me show you. Okay, still server is running. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm running the server from the Visual Studio Code terminal. And here we guys have got this. http://localhost/user or something. Whenever I'm, sending it, it is not going to be there because it is like a normal user method, but here we need a register method. So whenever you are talking about the register method, I'm going to delete it and I'm going to use a register method. In the register method, in the body, I'm going to add a new name. Okay, I'm going to add a new name like Sanjay and sanjay@gmail.com. This is what the email I'm adding. So whenever I'm clicking send, ta-da! So we guys are now got an output like user registered. But instead of @Gmail, so I'm going to delete that @ symbol. So whenever I'm sending a request, invalid email. Guys, is it amazing? Is it clear? Is it super clear? Because here on the testing as well, it is working good. That's okay. But on the application level, it is working. That's okay. But in the test program, we have given these formats. So to test it out, you can go here and npm space test. So whenever you are executing it, so it is going to do that comparisons or test. So Mocha, just carefully watch. Here there are 2 type of tests we guys have made. One is for registration, another one is for method. One is for post/registration, another one is for the user. should register a user with an email ID is the first test whenever people are registering for it. Should not register a user with an invalid email. Okay, that's what the second. And should validate email and should invalidate incorrect email. So that is what this test results which it's been shown. 4 got passed. Guys, is it super clear? So one is user.test.js, another one is app.test.js. So here we guys have run both the test and both the tests which have given the results. If there is any problem with that, it will be intimating you. Okay, on the upcoming days, I tried to incorporate in the end-to-end product which we are about to create in the future. For an example, it might be a Netflix or it might be any other tool which we are going to create in the future. I will try to incorporate this testing skills as a real developer, as a real project developer. You need to know how you can able to get the intimation whether when there is a problem in backend or the front end or even in the APIs. Okay, so I hope you really love this session. So here there are 4 repositories, guys. So actually I've given everything very individual. I taken a lot of time to create the mind map also for you. So just and etc. Let me delete this demo. Demo is not needed. So here just for the front end and Mocha for the back end and the integration test with the Just and React. But here because these two are all unit and mini project, we guys have used both the unit as well as the integration test. Okay, I hope you have got it. So please go through it and practice it and just find out whether you are getting a proper output or not. So that's what is all I really want from you. I will be definitely scheduling as a task for you as well. So please go and do that task as well. And other than that, I hope you really enjoyed the session. So if you have enjoyed the session, you just post I enjoyed Sanjay in your live chat. So I'll convert that PDF, a mind map as a PDF for you. So to do a task, so I'll schedule it in the community. So please go and complete the task. Knowing and not doing is equals to always not knowing. So I hope you're really loving the session. As days going by, we are going to work a lot on deployment level. On the deployment, we are going to purchase some domains and how to host your application there, or we are going to explore the Docker, and also we are going to simply little bit explore on Angular some of the additional libraries which is available. So likewise, we are going to learn lot more things. Only thing I want you from you is please go and complete the existing task. Additionally, spend at least 2 hours of time to learn the JavaScript, to try to practice one by one. Take one concept or one template or one component from the theme forest kind of website, which I've already shown you. So try to replicate the same thing with the help of the coding knowledge. So whenever you are started developing things, you can able to learn something new. Whenever you are executing my same code, my code or other people's code, you won't get that kind of skill. Whenever you are taking one problem statement, the problem statement is like when the users are hovering the mouse, some dotted waveform need to be appeared in the website. If this is the interactive website, you need to create that animation and all. If you want to create, that is the one task. That is the one statement. So for that statement, you just want to read the documentation, or you can use the ChatGPT to start write the code for it to build the functionality. Building the functionality is right now you can see my mouse, right? But what is the functionality I'm asking you to do is like whenever I'm hovering the mouse like this, whenever I'm moving the mouse like this, it need to show the droplets, or it need to show some waveforms. It should show some smoky or something. So if you want to if you are taking that as a task, or that is a that is a task, take that as a task and try to write the code, try to learn the code instead of simply writing. Try to read the code which I have given for you. Additionally, try to write the code with the help of the ChatGPT and other documents which we guys have already shared. And also you can just refer it to the internet. So and start write the code to get that results, because that is what the client also will be asking you. Client will simply tell, do this functionality. Okay, when people are clicking, whenever people are hovering to the pizza website, the pizza want to be cut off, and that pizza piece want to come out of it. So that is what the task they will be giving you. Okay, if you are really creating a very amazing stunning website, that is what the task you will get, because to make the site responsive and to increase the user experience, because whenever people are visiting the website, bouncing rate is very important. What is mean by bouncing rate? Whenever people are coming into your website, for an example, you just created one website for KFC. In the KFC, when people are visiting the KFC, if suddenly they are going out of the KFC website, that is what the bouncing rate is. Whenever people are coming into the website and suddenly they are leaving, which means that bouncing rate, whenever the bouncing rate is high for the website, it is not going to be ranked at the top in the Google. So that's why all company wanted to reduce the bouncing rate. How the company can able to reduce the bouncing rate? By making the website to be interactive, by making the website to be stunning, by making the website to be informative and fun or something engaging. Because sometimes whenever you are really seeing apple.in website, whenever you are seeing their products, it is really looking stunning because the user experience which they are giving. They are not explaining everything in a paragraph kind of manner. It is not boring. They have added a lot of images with the user experience. Like whenever you're scrolling, based on your activity, that animation has been appeared, MacBook will be opened. So that is what the user experience. So to increase the user experience, you need to do a lot more things. So try to do that kind of activity. So always knowing and not doing is equal to not knowing. So other than that, I hope you really enjoyed the session. Thank you so much once again for all the love, all the comments which you are sharing in the live and in the community and in the reviews and all. Thank you so much. Thank you so much once again. It's me, Sanjay, signing off. Until then, bye. We'll see you on the next session.